Okay, what we're going to do is use Pythagoras' theorem this time to calculate the length of the hypotenuse, remembering that the hypotenuse is going to be c in our equation. If we write it out, we're going to have a squared plus b squared equals c squared, remembering that that is Pythagoras' theorem. And c is that hypotenuse, or the longest side, remembering that c is always going to be across from the right angle. So in these two cases here, we can identify them very quickly, and we can see in both cases they are x's, they are unknowns. Now if we need to solve any kind of Pythagoras theorem problem, there are 5 steps that are really easy to follow, and we're going to talk all the way through one of these problems and talk about those 5 steps. Okay, now firstly, very important that we draw the triangle. Okay, it sounds a bit silly, but it's really important to have that triangle in front of you, because the second one there is going to be label the sides. We have to label the sides as A, B, or C. Very simple. Okay, A, B, or C. And here we know that anything across from the right angle is going to be that C, or the hypotenuse, and the other ones are simply A and B. Okay, doesn't really matter where A and B are, they are interchangeable, and right now we are trying to find the C. Right, our third step, we've drawn the triangle, we're going to label the sides. Next we have to sort out our rule. What rule are we going to use? Well, we know that in this case we're trying to find C on its own, because this is what's missing. We can just use our simple Pythagoras' theorem, so we're going to write our rule out. Right, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Drawn a triangle, label the sides, choose the rule, then we are going to substitute and we are going to solve. And when I say substitute, I mean we're going to use the numbers that we are given in our image or our diagram, and we're going to substitute it into our formula. So a is 4, 4 squared plus 3 squared will equal our, well in this case it's an x squared, okay? 4 squared is 16, 3 squared is 9, and we don't know what x squared is yet. We do know that 16 plus 9 gives us 25, and that's going to give us x squared. Now even though we're down to one number, we're not there yet, because we still have got x squared, and we are just looking for x on its own. The only way to reverse a squared is to use our square root sign, okay? Remembering that that is the opposite of squaring something. So if we square root the x squared, we end up with x, and the square root of 25 is 5. So that means our x value is actually 5 centimeters. Now if we apply the same set of steps to this particular problem, we've drawn our triangle, let's label our sides. Here's our hypotenuse across from the right angle, that's our C value. The other ones are A and B, doesn't matter which way. Drawn our triangle, labeled our sides, let's write our rule down. We are trying to find our C value. Now we have to substitute in our numbers and solve it. So our A value here is 7, our B value here is 3, and our C is still an x. Right, so 7 squared equals 49, 3 squared equals 9, and that will equal our x squared. 49 plus 9 is 58. And then we've got to find what just x on its own is, remembering our reverse is our square root sign, so the square root of 58 will give us our x value, and I've done this previously, the square root is 7.62, so that means our C value is actually 7.62 centimeters. So that's how we're using Pythagoras' theorem in 5 steps to find our hypotenuse.